From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Monday morning. We're still tracking just the one fire in the region right now. It's also just the only fire in Yakima County, the Williams Mine fire, which is now just a little over 30% contained. It is still shy of 12,000 acres. Not much activity with this one, but we do have winds in the forecast for today. So of course we'll pay attention to the fire perimeter activity very closely. Temperatures right now are pretty mild out there, 50s and 60s, 69 degrees in Tri-City, 67 for Hermiston, a little bit cooler locally in Sunnyside, 58 degrees there. But yeah, quite balmy out there for this morning for a lot of spots. A little bit later today, we're actually going to be cooler compared to yesterday, as we have a cold front that's going to pass by. It's going to do a couple different things to our weather, including picking up the winds. The winds will be very blustery for today, which is why we have a wind advisory in place for the Kittitas Valley from 9 to 9, and then for the lower Columbia Basin from 11 to 9. So I'll tell you just how fast the wind gusts are actually going to be. Also, I'll show you a warm up into the rest of our forecast, and that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the strike is over and the workers are returning to their jobs. Our Monique Ledesma joins us live this morning to tell us what's next for the Cadillac healthcare workers.
And a follow-up on the fire that destroyed a restaurant in Kennewick, what the Kennewick Fire Department is saying. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Tuesday, August 27th. Jessica, did you hear Josh say cooler temperatures?
I hope I did.
You hope you did.
It's wishful thinking because I'm ready for fall weather.
We're ready for fall weather, but we're kind of dressed for spring.
I know, you're right.
Yeah.
We got to change that up. Maybe we can manifest it.
Have to have the fall colors coming out.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start your top stories in Richland this morning, where striking Cadillac healthcare workers are preparing to head back to work.
The technicians and service workers have been striking for 7 days, demanding wage increases and better working conditions.
Our Monique Ledesma joins us live this morning. Good morning, Monique. You've been following the story since the beginning, so what's the latest?
Good morning, Jessica and Jill. After a week of striking, Cadillac technician, caregivers, and technicians will be returning back to work in less than an hour. Now, this strike was about a failed 8-month-long negotiation for a contract over better pay and working conditions. And although workers are returning to work today, more than 1,000 workers are still demanding a better contract. Workers will be demonstrating their continued solidarity by walking back into the workplace together today. And the next bargaining session has been tentatively scheduled for September 16th. Now, coming up later this morning at 6, you'll be able to hear from one of those workers and what it means to them to be returning to work this morning and what they're hoping to settle at the bargaining table come September. For now, reporting in Richland, Monique Ledesma for Good Morning Northwest. Sending it back to the desk.
Thank you, Monique. Following up now on a story we brought you yesterday morning. The Kennewick Fire Department has released more information on a fire that destroyed a restaurant in Kennewick.
The call for help came in for the Mis Raices Cafe around 7:42 p.m. Sunday night. Riley Fitzgerald takes us to the scene.
Fire crews responded to the 2500 block of Kennewick Ave Sunday night after witnesses say smoke was coming from the Mis Raices Cafe building. When firefighters arrived on scene, they found the inside of the building was on fire. It was out in minutes of engines getting there, but the fire left the interior completely burned. Jay Alvarez is the business owner. We ran into him at the restaurant on Monday morning, standing in front of the wreckage.
You know, I got to see how much work it was put on in this building. A lot of love, a lot of work, and it was not just me, you know. There's a whole team behind the scenes that have done a lot for this building, and I don't know, I got to see my employees crying because now they don't have a job, and it's very unfortunate, it's very sad. I just don't know what really to feel. For a moment I thought I was dreaming.
Mis Raices Cafe and restaurant just opened in January this year. Alvarez has been in the Tri-Cities since 2019 and says this coffee shop has been his dream for around 3 years.
And when you walked through it today, what did you see inside?
It's very hard to put it into words. Like, it's hard. Like, it's hard because, like I said, it's just, we put a lot of work. This is like a second home for us. So I don't know. I just feel sad. Overwhelming.
Alvarez invited us in to take a look. The kitchen destroyed. But in the front of the restaurant, the streamers decorating the seating area untouched.
It happened so fast that right now I'm just going with whatever comes in the process. But I'm good, we're gonna be back in business in whatever time that we need.
Alvarez says even after this loss, he plans to rebuild and reopen.
Yes, we're gonna open. We're gonna reopen again. It's just about time. It's just timing.
He says when they open back up,
come and try us out.
In Kennewick, I'm Riley Fitzgerald with Apple Valley News Now.
Now, crews spent more than 3 hours at the cafe. No one was hurt, and the cause is still under investigation.
In more fire-related news now, Benton County Fire District 1 has a new type of wildland fire engine. It's a Type 5 engine, which means it's good with natural cover fires.
It was delivered a few months ago, and fire volunteers out of Station 130 in Benton County have been training with and outfitting the rig. This apparatus is ready to answer calls.
BCF D1 Deputy Fire Chief Ryan Nichols explains that different apparatus have different equipment and have completely different tasks.
You know, we carry our self-contained breathing apparatus on it for when we go inside house fires. It has a complement of ladders and different sizes of hoses and just a whole lot of different tools. Whereas this truck is meant, again, for fighting natural vegetation fires out in the hills. And so we don't carry all the same equipment. In this truck, we carry shovels and a variety of different wildland tools, as well as smaller hose that we use out in the wildfire environment.
Coming up at 6, how to differentiate the types of fire engines that may cross your path or respond to your emergencies, and also how they serve the community. Also coming up on Good Morning Northwest, we interviewed some candidates that were running for representative of the 4th Congressional District, and now we'll hear from incumbent Dan Newhouse.
Our Austin Reed with that interview next, but first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth will have your weather forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W.
Warning, your air conditioner unit needs service. Would you like me to call Bruce?
Yes, call Bruce.
Thanks to today's modern technology, it's never been easier to call Bruce Heating and Air. When your AC unit needs serviced, call Bruce.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get this party started.
Just make sure you call the right Bruce.
Now through September 30th, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Take good care of you, Bruce Heating and Air.
Whoa, is this your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. Yesterday, I was at the Nissan End of Summer Sales event taking a test drive, and Laura says,
"We've got somewhere to be."
And off we went. We're having a blast. And she tells me it's recommended by Consumer Reports.
These Rogues are going fast.
I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Get 0% financing for 36 months, or get up to $2,500 total savings on remaining select 2024 Rogue Platinum trims.
David, did you remember to get me an anniversary present?
Anniversary? Of course, it's Mattress Depot USA's anniversary, and we're having a gigantic sale.
Take advantage of our best prices of the year.
And interest-free financing.
David, you do know anniversaries only come once a year, right?
Yes, and if you miss ours, you'll be sorry.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
When choosing a pediatrician, find out if the doctor is close to your home and if the practice can accommodate your schedule. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country Fried Steak, $5.99, Wednesdays only at KFC.
They both want to be your next president. Now Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, face to face. The ABC News presidential debate, moderated by David Muir and Lindsay Davis. Tuesday, September 10th, live on ABC and streaming on Hulu and Disney+.
WSU Art on a Palouse Farmers Field. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Here's where all the smoke is right now. You can see there's just not much smoke within the viewing area, so certainly a very good problem to have. Let's show you what happens to the smoke for the next couple of days, and this is going to be just like yesterday's viewing of Futurecast in that there aren't many pause points. In fact, no pause points within this. I'm just letting this run through the next couple of days because you can see there's not going to be a lot of smoke, not going to be a lot of haze within the region. So that is certainly a very good thing. Okay, for this morning, we do have some very light showers up around Snoqualmie Pass, up in the Cascades of Kittitas County, excuse me. That is that's about where we're going to see the best shower and thunderstorm coverage for today. For the rest of us, we're going to be pretty dry but windy. And we'll get to that in a second. Here's your coldcast for today. Of course, going with the light jacket for this morning within the Tri-Cities, but a little bit later today, t-shirt weather. Will feel nice in the sunshine, which we should have a good deal of. But, you know, you factor in some of the wind gusts, it might not feel as warm as you would otherwise expect. So for today, these highs are going to be below average. Look at this. Ellensburg probably not even making it out of the 60s for today. So that really underscores how cool of a day that it's going to be. Also, very windy. We have wind advisories in place. I'll tell you just how windy it's going to be. Also, I'll show you how hot we turn into Labor Day weekend. All that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In political news now, incumbent Dan Newhouse came in second place in the race for U.S. Congress, while newcomer Jared Sessler was first. We have interviewed numerous candidates for this position, and this morning we're hearing from Dan Newhouse. Our very own Austin Reed with this interview.
Who's Dan Newhouse? Well, gosh, I'm a farmer. I think if anybody asked me, that's what I love to do, and that's what my life has been. Born and raised on a farm in central Washington, still on the farm. We still have it in the family. That's been my life, my livelihood, my family's livelihood. Washington State Legislature, served 4 terms there. I was Director of Agriculture for the state. Been in Congress now for several terms. But, you know, I'm a central Washingtonian.
I have a question. Why did you get into politics?
Well, you know, that's a good question because everybody has to be motivated by something. Yeah, as a farmer, it seemed to me that, and this is a bit of an exaggeration, but it illustrates the frustration. It seemed like every day there was something new coming from Olympia, coming from Washington, D.C., that was making it more difficult for me to do what I had to do every day.
The primary.
Sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still neck and neck between you and Sessler. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know, you got to be in the top 2. You know, that's the goal out of the primary in our state. Regardless of party, you move forward and on to the general. And I'm feeling good about the outcome because we got into the top 2. Certainly, we had a low voter turnout, unfortunately, and I'm anticipating that we're going to have a much higher voter turnout in November.
What makes you different than Jared Sessler?
So, like I said, I'm born and raised in the Yakima Valley in central Washington. This is my home, my business, my family is here. You know, my son's running the farm, and I want to make sure that he's able to be successful on into the future. My daughter's in law enforcement, so I see that side of things and the challenges that we have there. And like I said, the issues we face are my issues because I live them every single day. And I think having someone that has the experience that I do, the leadership that I do, and the position that I hold in Congress is, at this point in time, so many critical issues that we're facing domestically, locally, internationally. I think this is a very key time that we want somebody that understands the issues. I think when you compare the two of us, that people are going to see that I bring to the table so much more. And I think in these, like you said, in these critical times, We need people that can bring common sense solutions forward so that we can solve many of the issues that we face.
So, talk a little bit about the thoughts on the presidential election.
Well, this is
a big one.
It is the big one. This is a very, very important election. I'm focused on, I'm a Republican. I'm rooting for the Republicans to win, not just the White House, which I think is crucial, but I want to make sure that we regain the Senate and build our margin in the House. I think that that's absolutely essential that we do that.
Now, if you are running for a local office or if you're a viewer and want to hear from a candidate, you can send Austin an email. That's areed@applevalleynewsnow.com. He'll do his best to continue to tell the stories of those individuals. Again, his email is areed@applevalleynewsnow.com. And if you want to find those other interviews, head to our website. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, a hiker who was rescued from the Grand Canyon after a powerful flash flood is using her story to warn others. We'll hear from her next with the video you don't want to miss. That's coming up. Keep it right here.
Say less, get more. Buy one, get one for $1. Choose from Bacon McDouble, McChicken, McDouble, or Hot and Spicy McChicken. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Catherine Forner, and we love our own backyard so much, we built all of this.
With hardwood decking and Basilite pavers.
And we just finished this deck for one of our best customers.
With TimberTech decking and Fortress railing.
And we get everything we need from PAR. With Shauna's help.
Everything from design to delivery.
What would we do without you?
PAR, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
It's time to get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. The new 2024 Kia Niro gives you 3 great ways to save fuel. Available with a fuel-efficient gas-electric hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, or as a full electric vehicle. A new 2024 Kia Niro LX gas-electric hybrid starts at just $28,980. Plus, get 4.49% interest for up to 72 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Lad Days are here. Our annual fall sales event is the best time to get discounts on Lad irrigation services and products. You'll find great deals on parts, pivots, projects, repairs, and more. From August 26th through 30th, stop by any Lad irrigation location to take advantage of these once-in-a-year prices. Prizes, too, and taco trucks on site at select Lad locations. This is simply our way of saying thank you to our customers. Learn more at ladirrigation.com.
Our new orthopedic regenerative medicine clinic with Prosser Memorial Health orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jeffrey B. Higgs is now offering a variety of treatments, including platelet-rich plasma injections to enhance injury recovery, promote healing, and treat pain associated with early osteoarthritis. To schedule an appointment, call Prosser Orthopedic Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Hash browns are the French fries of breakfast.
Who says it's not French fries that are the hash browns of lunch and dinner?
That's also true.
BOGO for $1. Choose from a sausage McMuffin, burrito, McGriddles, biscuit, or hash browns. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Apple Valley News Now, the official television home of the Seattle Kraken. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're continuing to track these very light showers up in the Cascades for this morning. There could maybe be a few rumbles of thunder. And let's show you what happens with all this a little bit later in the day with Futurecast. And you'll notice by lunchtime, there's really not going to be that much on the map. And then after that, clouds are going to start to clear out and we'll have plenty of sunshine out there. I think the real big impact from today's cold front is obviously going to be in the form of the very blustery winds. For most spots, gusting between 25 to 45 miles per hour. We'll have the strongest wind gusts in the Kittitas Valley per usual. So for today, we'll have below average high temperatures. Look at this in the Kittitas Valley in particular. We'll have highs that'll struggle to make it out of the 60s, but the rest of us in the 70s and 80s, so still below average. And we'll have skies like you saw in Futurecast that'll be clearing throughout the day, so we should have plenty of sunshine. And then for tonight, clear skies and cool. This is going to be one of the coldest nights we've had in quite some time with temperatures in the 40s, and we could even see some 30s. That is quite possible within the Yakima Valley. But by the time we get to this weekend, it's going to be like it never even happened, because we'll have temperatures that'll surge back into the mid to upper 90s within the Tri-Cities, flirting with triple digits. So very hot Labor Day weekend. Also, we'll track a little thunderstorm chance for Labor Day proper, and we'll watch this one very closely, because given that our weather is going to turn much drier, much hotter, that means that vegetation is going to turn pretty dry again. We'll have more to say about that coming up a little bit later in the show. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Breezy and windy for today, with highs struggling to make it out of the 70s. We'll be back into the 90s as soon as Friday. Then for Yakima, clouds will be clearing throughout today, and then plenty of sunshine after that, turning summer-like into Labor Day weekend. For Ellensburg, will be room temperature for today and very windy. And how about that 30-degree turnaround between today and Saturday? And then for Hermiston, dry and warming up through Labor Day weekend, tracking a small shower and thunderstorm chance for the holiday itself. And then for Walla Walla, very comfy highs for Tuesday and Wednesday, a bit warmer for Thursday and Friday, and then the heat is on for the holiday weekend.
Thank you, Josh. Across the country, severe weather is causing major problems for tens of millions in the U.S. Some areas are dealing with extreme heat. Others are dealing with the damage already done from storms and landslides. Parts of Ketchikan, Alaska, destroyed by a major landslide. At least one person is confirmed dead, and others are injured after the landslide hit the southern part of the state on Sunday. Alaska's governor issued a disaster declaration, and evacuations remain in place as officials fear another landslide is possible. Meanwhile, more than 2,300 miles away, a different dilemma. The first 2 days of school in a Detroit district were cut short this week due to what the district claims is, quote, inadequate cooling and the soaring temperatures. A similar situation in Philadelphia, where 63 schools are ending 3 hours early 2 days this week because of the high heat. A hiker who was rescued from the Grand Canyon after a powerful flash flood swept through the Havasu Canyon is using her story to warn others. Latricia Mims is one of around 200 tourists who were stranded after the flood washed out bridges and walkways on Thursday. Many of them lost all of their belongings as they rushed to higher ground.
You know, the flood came so fast, so if you're going to be in the Grand Canyon, especially on the floor of the Grand Canyon during monsoon season, to watch the weather, watch the radar, heed the warnings, take it seriously, because it changed so quickly. There wasn't a whole lot of time to make decisions and react.
The National Weather Service said the area received between 1 and 2 inches of rain within about an hour and a half, triggering the flash flooding. A 33-year-old hiker did not survive the rushing water. Her body was discovered 3 days later. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Mariah Carey revealing tragic news about her mother and sister. What the singer released in a statement, coming up in your entertainment news.
It only happens once a year. Steve Hunt Kia's summer clearance sale. So don't get stuck in the slush. Bring any trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Can take advantage of Steve Hunt all-wheel drive sale. All with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days. SteveHuntKia.com.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck, heavy hit.
Call 853-2222.
It's time once again for the Walla Walla Valley Quilt Festival. 2 big days, September 13th and 14th at the Walla Walla Fairgrounds. This year's theme is 2 crayons. Quilters choose 2 colors randomly and then add a third to create amazing fabric works of art. Check out hourly demos, shop the vendors, and have a great time. Enjoy both big days for just $8. Meet featured quilter Robin Long of Robin Ruth Design and local featured quilter Julianne Gunningham. Mark your calendar now, September 13th and 14th, the Walla Walla Valley Quilt Festival.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually. Right, Tom. Tom. You doing that on purpose?
Tam.
Tam. How have we got to Tam? Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Hear that? It's the sound of savings at your local Ford dealer. Get a sweet-sounding deal on F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, and more. Hurry in today for the sound of savings, because a new Ford truck or SUV is calling your name. Just listen to this great offer. Lease a 2024 F-150 STX for $399 a month, or a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $369 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Thank you for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest the most watched local morning news program in our area. What's new, what's now, and what's next, plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Wake up with Good Morning Northwest from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hit.
Call 853-2222.
It only happens once a year. Steve Hunt Kia's summer clearance sale, so don't get stuck in the slush. Bring any trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Can take advantage of Steve Hunt all-wheel drive sale. All with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days. SteveHuntKia.com.
WSU Art on a Palouse Farmers Field. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, the host for this year's MTV's Video Music Awards has been announced.
That's right. It's Megan Thee Stallion. She'll be this year's host, and this will be her first time hosting an awards show.
But she has hosted Saturday Night Live and co-hosted The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
Now, as far as nominations go, no surprise, Taylor Swift leads the pack with 10 nominations, and Post Malone follows with 9.
Megan Thee Stallion herself has 5 nominations this year. Also, Katy Perry is among the performers, and she'll be awarded the Video Vanguard Award.
The VMAs will air live at 5 p.m. Pacific time on September 11th on MTV. It's taking place at the UBS Arena in New York.
And Josh, can you do your Megan Thee Stallion impression you just did earlier? It was so funny.
You're putting him on the spot.
Well, now to some sad entertainment news. Mariah Carey is grieving the recent deaths of her mother and sister. She says they both died on the same day.
In a statement, Carey did not offer any details about their cause of death.
Mariah also said she was blessed to have spent the last week with her mom. A trailer is out for a new documentary about Superman star Christopher Reeve. Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, explores Reeve's career in activism after an equestrian competition accident left him paralyzed in 1995.
It includes an emotional moment from his son Matthew. He's visibly moved when he shares the memory of the last time that he saw his dad on his feet.
He died in 2004 of heart failure at age 52. Now, the documentary features the actor's own words and intimate interviews with his late wife, Dana, and close friends Susan Sarandon and Glenn Close.
The film debuted at the Sundance Film Festival in January, and it will be in select theaters September 21st and September 25th.
I'm a big Superman fan, so I'm excited for that one. Are you guys more Superman or Batman?
Well, I like Christopher Reeve.
Yes, yeah.
But I'm a Batman fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of him.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, Yakima City Council is receiving pushback after judges ordered those charged or convicted of a drug-related crime to stay out of drug areas. Why that is coming up in just a few minutes.
Plus, if you're planning to travel on Highway 12 this Labor Day weekend, prepare for delays. Details why coming up in the next half hour. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the debut of the iPhone 16 is just 2 weeks away. Apple announced its next major showcase is set for September 9th. The new phone lineup is expected to include updated cameras and an upgraded chip to support new AI-powered features. The Apple Watch Series 10 may also be unveiled. Lyft is making it easier for riders to bring their pets along. The new Pet Rides feature matches pet owners with drivers who are comfortable with having animals in their car. Riders will pay an additional $4, which goes directly to the driver. Finally, Sony's newest wireless earbuds offer some advanced features while costing $30 less than their predecessor. They're smaller and offer voice isolation along with a longer battery life. You can pre-order now for $60. They're expected to ship in 2 weeks. You know, I recently lost my left earbud. I thought I'd be upset, but now I'm all right. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
For an ice cream? Okay.
So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Tempting, but that's way too much of a hassle.
Actually, it's not. Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
But it's easy and I could save?
And you get Allstate.
Like a cherry on top.
Oh, you brought your own.
Check Allstate first and you could save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Can your pad absorb everything and stay fresh? Always Flex Foam can. It's the only pad made with the flexible foam core that locks in blood and sweat while the top stays dry, keeping you up to 100% leak and odor-free. See what foam can do for you.
Check it out.
Nice. Blue Buffalo, huh? We have Nutrish.
Well, Blue's got deboned chicken, chicken meal, brown rice, oatmeal.
Nutrish has chicken, soybean meal, whole corn, whole grain wheat. Huh. Okay, bud, we'll switch to Blue.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, you said it's going to be cooler temperatures?
Yes. Much cooler today and tomorrow.
Fall-like cool temperatures?
It's going to be fall.
Can you say hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
If you close your eyes, if you forget about the calendar, if you just walk outside and kind of feel out there, you'd maybe think that it was September,
a lot
October.
cooler coming in here.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And tonight's going to be one of the coldest nights we've had in quite some time. So we're getting there. But then we have to get through Labor Day weekend, which is an entirely different story. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look right now at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Not much daylight out there for right now. There are some clouds out there for this morning. They will be clearing out as the day progresses in the wake of this cold front passing. You know, temperatures right now not all that bad, 50s and 60s, so a little balmy out there, but we'll show you what ends up happening to the high temperatures in a second. For right now, we do have some very light showers up in the Cascades. There could be a few rumbles of thunder embedded within this, but most of us will stay dry for today. So when it's all said and done for today, we'll end up being way below average for this time of the year, especially in the Kittitas Valley, where we'll struggle to make it out of the 60s, but we'll be a little bit closer to 80 within the Tri-Cities. And since we do have a little bit of lightning in the forecast for today, I'll show you what vegetation dryness is looking like. We'll touch on that fire start potential, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off in Yakima this half hour, the City Council has passed an ordinance that would allow judges to order defendants charged or convicted with a drug-related crime to stay out of drug areas.
But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us the city is receiving pushback from some local providers who say the move could have unintended consequences.
Judges can already ban defendants from going to certain places either post-conviction or during pretrial release. But this would make it not just a violation of the judge's order, but a whole new crime.
The way that it's handled prior to that ordinance is I have to actually bring it up to the judge, and then the judge would find it to be a violation or not. Versus now, with the new orders, the officer would be able to arrest that person for violating the order immediately.
The offense, a gross misdemeanor, punishable by up to 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine.
We're not wanting this ordinance enacted to go out and pick on people. What it is it's more teeth for us as a unit and as a police department to negate the nuisance of open-air drug use.
The ordinance establishes 2 stay out of drug areas, or SODAs for short. One focused on Natchez Avenue downtown, the other around the train tracks and North 1st Street. The areas based on drug crime hotspots identified by police. But some local providers pushing back, saying banning people from those areas also cuts them off from low-income housing and other critical resources.
Access to Union Gospel Mission, Rod's House, and housing through Triumph Treatment Services are all impacted by this proposal. These are agencies that are dedicated to helping our most marginalized groups break out of the cycle that causes drug use and crime.
And the Yakima Union Gospel Mission says if the SODAs drive people in need further away, they'll increase their outreach efforts to make sure they still get help. But Rod's House officials say they're concerned the ordinance could discourage people from accessing the services they need. City officials say that's why the ordinance provides judges with discretion to modify the order based on information provided by the defendant.
If they are receiving services in those areas, can certainly say that to the judge, and the judge can take that into account. Perhaps could choose to modify the order, or maybe would choose not to issue the order at all.
If it's for pretrial release, the judge's order can last up until that case is resolved. Afterward, post-conviction, the order will be in effect for up to 2 years, depending on the judge's discretion. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
The Yakima County Prosecutor's Office has filed charges against a Spokane Valley police sergeant after a man had allegedly assaulted or filed a federal lawsuit against him.
Sergeant Clay Hilton is currently being investigated for using excessive force on a 62-year-old man last year. He's now facing charges for assault and falsifying official records.
Now, we're about to show you body camera footage from the incident, and we do want to warn you it's graphic.
Kevin Hinton says he was on his way home from a 12-hour road trip when he pulled into a parking lot to rest. Now, Hinton refused to give Sergeant Hilton his ID and says that's when the sergeant pulled him out of his car and allegedly beat him.
Hinton has filed a federal lawsuit saying his civil rights were violated, arguing there are systemic failures in the sheriff's office and county in keeping its citizens safe. According to the Yakima County prosecutor, Hilton is expected to be arraigned at the end of September.
The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife has announced all of its 152 commissioned law enforcement officers will begin wearing body cameras.
The goal is to boost accountability, transparency, and safety in natural resource law enforcement. The body-worn camera program starts next month, and this follows a review and trial period during which feedback was gathered to make sure the technology meets the needs of both the agency and the community.
Well, if you're planning to travel on Highway 12 this Labor Day weekend, you can expect delays.
The highway is down to one lane, alternating traffic in some areas as crews work to repair damage from the retreat fire. And WashDOT is also shutting down a section of the highway near Rimrock Lake so crews can start a culvert replacement project, which was delayed a month due to the fire.
Drivers will need to take a detour using Tieton Reservoir Road, which has a reduced speed limit, adding 20 to 25 minutes of travel time on a regular day, but drivers should add more for the uptick in travelers over Labor Day weekend.
We are talking remote locations here. You need to be prepared. Make sure you have a full tank of gas and all the necessities that you need to be comfortable, because there really is limited services in these areas. Very low cell reception, very few places to pull over.
They're hoping to reopen that section of the highway in early November.
But drivers can also detour using State Route 410 in the meantime. And the moment we have finally been waiting for, the winner of the Restaurant Showdown has been announced. Drum roll, please.
The winner is the Prosser House.
Yay.
A big congratulations to them.
After thousands of votes over the last several weeks, Prosser House is the official winner of the 2024 Restaurant Showdown voting contest.
Our community came together to cast their votes, and the Prosser House emerged as the clear favorite. And your support shows just how much this local restaurant means to our region.
We want to thank everyone who participated in this year's contest.
And it sounds like we need to celebrate with dinner at the Prosser House.
Sounds delicious. Well, up next on Good Morning Northwest, we have why the Washington Lottery is urging people to check or double check their lotto tickets.
Plus, you should also check on your weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth will have that when we come back.
Get ready for the Seattle Kraken all season on Apple Valley News Now.
Is that house-made guac going on a Carl's Jr. burger? Smooth, zesty, charbroiled, beefy, melty pepper jack, cheesy, saucy temptation, crisp bacon too. I give. Give in to the guac bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. Big burger.
Good burger. Hit by a big truck? It could be from bad air hoses in the brake system. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, and at my law firm, we have a special team that knows how trucks work and what goes wrong. We know how to prove it was the truck's fault. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the experience and knowledge it takes to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
The Y Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
The best bulls in the world have come to town. For bull riders, 8 seconds can make them a champion or nothing. It's bull time. Kennewick. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets or Ticketmaster.
Dishwasher on the fritz. Laundry.
giving you fits. A water heater that quits. In a world without Culligan, hard water makes life harder. Get a Culligan softener, the world's best. Put your water worries to rest.
Power your adventures with the all-electric 2024 Subaru Solterra. It comes with legendary Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, standard, plus a rugged 8.3 inches of ground clearance. Everything about the Subaru Solterra is advanced, including the technology keeping you and your passengers safe. Love is now electric.
Find your way home in a new Subaru Solterra from McCurley Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
STCU and Apple Valley News Now honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, just click on Volunteers Count at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Is that house-made guac going on a Carl's Jr. burger? Smooth, zesty, charbroiled beefy, melty pepper jack, cheesy, saucy temptation, crisp bacon too. I give. Give in to the guac bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. Made burger.
Get burger.
I've risked everything for you.
I don't know how to be what you need me to be. I feel very, very sorry for whoever you end up with.
My name's Morgan, single mother of 3 with an IQ of 160.
We could use someone with your talents.
Me? Work with cops?
I see you brought your child to a crime scene.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now we have temperatures that are spanning from the 40s to the 60s in Kittitas County right now. So really underscores all the microclimates we have there. And then in the Yakima Valley, 50s and 60s, so pretty consistent temperatures here. 60 for Yakima, 60 degrees for Sela. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, it's also in the 50s and 60s. Look at this, 69 degrees in the Tri-Cities for this morning. So a pretty mild start there. Also at 69 for Walla Walla. In general, we're in the 50s and 60s for the foothills of the Blues. And then up into the, I would have to guess, we're probably just in the 50s for places like Ukiah and Meacham. Here is your hour by hour for today for the Tri-Cities. We're going to end up in the mid to upper 70s, maybe even getting into the low 80s when it's all said and done for today. But we'll still be below average for this time of the year. In fact, parts of the Kittitas Valley are going to struggle to make it out of the 60s for today. Okay, and with a little bit of lightning in the forecast, mainly for the Cascades for this morning, I did want to touch on vegetation dryness. Remember, the 100th percentile would be the driest vegetation on record, so we're going to be up into the 59th percentile for today. By the way, of course, winds can always act to spread fires very quickly. It's going to be very windy for today. We'll be up into the 58th percentile for the lower Columbia Basin and then into the 65th percentile for the Blue Mountains. But these numbers are set to go way up as our temperatures are set to go way up into Labor Day weekend. So I'll show you just how hot we trend. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Washington's lottery is encouraging players to double-check their lottery tickets. Why? Well, because there were a total of 27 unclaimed prizes.
As Apple Valley News Now's Toby Solving explains, one winning ticket was recently sold in Pasco.
There are almost 30 large prizes valued at $10,000 or more, totaling more than $1.36 million. Some are set to expire soon, others within the next 180 days. As for the local unclaimed ticket, it's a match 4 that was sold in Pasco on August 8th. The numbers are 02, 08, 10, and 23. Another local match 4 ticket sold in Cle Elum is still unclaimed. It was sold back in July. Expiring in just a few days from now is a match 4 ticket, which was bought at a Safeway store in Everett back on March 7th. But officials say that one will expire very soon, on September 3rd. The lottery tells us a $1 million Powerball ticket is still up for grabs. It was sold in Linden on August 24th. Those Powerball numbers are 05, 15, 21, 24, 43, and 17. By law, the prizes that aren't claimed are placed into a reserve account. Each June, the surplus in the reserve account is transferred to the Washington Opportunity Pathways account. which supports education in Washington state. Washington's lottery has regional offices located in Everett, Federal Way, Olympia, Spokane, Tri-Cities, and Vancouver, which are open to the public to claim prizes Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Winners with prizes of $100,000 or more are instructed to call the nearest lottery office to schedule an appointment to make a safe and secure in-person claim. This is Toby Solvang reporting for Apple Valley News Now.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife is making changes regarding its law enforcement officers. We tell you what they're doing coming up in your morning sprint.
But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast. We'll be right back.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else. Ironic. Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less. That's ironic. Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Drive into summer with the rugged Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Summer is for exploring, so get outdoors, kick up some dust, get muddy, or just find that perfect campsite. All from Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Hear that? It's the sound of savings at your local Ford dealer. Get a sweet-sounding deal on F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, and more. Hurry in today for the sound of savings, because a new Ford truck or SUV is calling your name. Just listen to this great offer. Lease a 2024 F-150 STX for $399 a month, or a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $369 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Next, DT, we're with the Country Stars remembering Toby Keith.
Just the fact that he's not here is still a pretty big void.
Plus, we're beachside for the big Baywatch reunion. Next, DT.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country fried steak, $5.99 Wednesdays only at KFC.
The Seattle Kraken, all season on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We are seeing some very light showers up in the Cascades for this morning. There could be a rumble of thunder a little bit later this morning. We'll put this into motion with Futurecast, and you'll notice by lunchtime there's not going to be much on the map, and then after that we should be dry. Clouds will start to clear out, and it'll end up being a beautiful afternoon and evening. But it's going to be a windy one out there, as for most spots winds will gust between 25 to 45 miles per hour, the fastest wind gust being in the Kittitas Valley, which is no surprise. So for today, windy, it's going to be cool compared to average. Look at this. We'll struggle to even make it out of the 60s in the Kittitas Valley. But again, we will have some sunshine a bit later in the day to warm us up a bit. And then for tonight, the winds calming down for the most part. Maybe they could still gust upwards of 25 miles per hour for the Kittitas Valley, but in general, much calmer winds. Overnight lows will be chilly. This is going to be one of the coldest nights we've had in quite some time, with temperatures into the 40s. Okay, we'll have another little fall-like day for Wednesday, a bit warmer for Thursday and Friday, and by the time we get to Labor Day weekend, it's going to feel pretty summer-like again, as we'll be about 5 to 10 degrees above average for this time of the year, within striking distance of 100 degrees on Sunday in the Tri-Cities. It does look like Labor Day weekend is going to be pretty dry, although we are tracking a little thunderstorm chance for Labor Day proper. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Breezy and windy today with highs struggling to make it out of the 70s back into the 90s as soon as Friday. Then for Yakima, clouds clearing throughout today, then plenty of sunshine after that, turning summer-like into Labor Day weekend. And then for Ellensburg, room temperature today and very windy. Again, in the sunshine, it'll feel better, but in the winds, not so much. Kind of a catch-22 there. But how about a 30-degree turnaround between today and Saturday? And then for Hermiston, dry and warming up through Labor Day weekend, tracking a small shower and thunderstorm chance for the holiday itself. And then for Walla Walla, very comfy highs for Tuesday and Wednesday, a bit warmer for Thursday and Friday, and then the heat is back on for the holiday weekend.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 5:50. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
We're going to take you right to your 6 o'clock hour. But first up, here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Technicians and service workers with Cadillac Healthcare are heading back to work today. This follows a 7-day strike over fair wages, retention, and safe staffing. Cadillac and its workers will be heading back to the bargaining table in September to see if they can work out a contract that works for all parties.
The Yakima City Council has passed an ordinance that allows judges to order defendants charged with or convicted of a drug-related crime to stay out of drug crime hotspots, which are identified by police. It's caused some pushback. One area focuses on Natchez Avenue downtown, the other around the train tracks in North First Street. A violation of the order is punishable up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. And for more details, stay with us in our 6 o'clock hour.
Well, you can expect delays along Highway 12 heading into the Labor Day weekend. The highway is down to 1-lane alternating traffic in some areas as crews work to repair damage from the Retreat fire. WashDOT is also shutting down a section of the highway near Rimrock Lake so crews can start a culvert replacement project. A detour is available via Tieton Reservoir Road, but it will add an extra 20 to 25 minutes of travel time.
Benton County Fire District 1 has a new type of wildland fire engine. It's a Type 5 engine, which means it's good with natural cover fires. It was delivered a few months ago, and fire volunteers out of Station 130 have been training with it and outfitting the rig. This apparatus is now ready to answer calls.
In an effort to boost accountability, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will be outfitting its law enforcement officers with body cameras. That starts in September, and it follows a review and trial period during which feedback was gathered to make sure the technology meets the needs of both the agency and the community. In your national headlines this morning, former President Donald Trump says he would rather have the microphones stay on for both candidates during the September 10th debate on ABC. This is the opposite of what his staff has asked for, requesting the candidates' microphones be muted, as they were during the CNN debate with President Joe Biden.
The Harris campaign has also requested the microphones stay on throughout the debate. The rules for the September 10th presidential debate on ABC are not yet finalized, and he said this yesterday and also questioned whether he should participate in the debate.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he's been asked to serve on Trump's transition team if he's reelected. He made the comment yesterday in an interview with conservative talk show host Tucker Carlson.
It comes after RFK suspended his campaign for president last week and endorsed Trump. Transition teams help select people to serve in presidential administrations. Trump's camp has not confirmed Kennedy's claim.
In your business headlines this morning, SeaTac Airport is still dealing with the aftermath of a cyber attack. Hackers got into the airport's system Saturday, so crews pulled the entire system offline, which impacted thousands of travelers. The problem was still affecting some services on Monday.
In a news conference yesterday, officials said hundreds of staff are helping out with the ground operations, and they're hoping to restore all services soon. It's still unclear who attacked their systems or why, and officials are urging travelers to use mobile boarding passes or print their boarding passes ahead of time and get tags for their luggage before they arrive at the airport to speed up the check-in process.
Apple announced the date of its next major event where the iPhone 16 is expected to launch. Apple is hosting a special event on September 9th with the tagline, quote, "It's glow time." It's unclear what glow time is referring to.
AI is expected to be a key feature of Apple's newest phone. The device is expected to be the first to be designed fully with AI in mind. The September 9th event will take place at 10 a.m. Pacific time at the Steve Jobs Theater in Apple Park, and it will be streamed online.
In your health headlines, a new study shows heat-related deaths have been steadily increasing for years in the U.S. More than 21,000 people died during that period, with a disproportionate number of deaths recorded in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Texas.
Researchers found the annual number of deaths varied from year to year before 2016. But since 2016, deaths have increased by nearly 17% each year. More than 50 million people were under heat alerts yesterday, mainly across the Midwest.
Walmart has recalled almost 10,000 cases of apple juice for containing potentially harmful levels of inorganic arsenic. The Great Value brand apple juice was originally recalled on August 15th. But got a more urgent recall classification on Friday.
The new classification means the juice could temporarily cause health issues, but not likely anything serious. This affects Great Value apple juice sold in Walmart stores in 25 states, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia.
In your sports headlines this morning, the Mariners started off their series against the Tampa Bay Rays with a win at T-Mobile Park. The final score, 5-1.
The M's are currently second in the AL West behind the Astros. They have 2 more games in the series with the Rays. The next game is tonight at 6:40.
Authorities in New York are on high alert as the 144th U.S. Open kicked off on Monday. Nearly 1 million people are expected to visit the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center during the 2-week event.
New York police say while there are no specific or credible threats, they're utilizing screening checkpoints and keeping an eye on things from the skies with drones. They also have police dogs trained to detect explosives. All right, check this out now. The jersey that Babe Ruth wore when he hit one of baseball's most famous home runs sold for more than $24 million on Sunday.
Heritage Auction says this piece of New York Yankees history is now the most expensive game-worn jersey ever sold.
Ruth, also known as the Sultan of SWAT, the King of Crash, was wearing his road gray number 3 jersey when he played against the Chicago Cubs in the 1932 World Series. He appeared to gesture towards something in center field just before hitting a 5th-inning home run into the bleachers. It became known as the called shot. Ruth quickly embraced a headline that reported the slugger had called the shot.
The sale of Ruth's jersey makes it the most valuable sports collectible ever.
Prior to Sunday's auction, that title belonged to Mickey Mantle's 1952 Topps card that went for $12.6 million. So almost double this jersey. Wow.
Yeah, Baby Ruth is what I wanted to say.
Baby Ruth.
Like in Sandlot.
The great Bambino.
There we go.
Yes.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, Benton County Fire District 1 has a new machine that can help with natural cover fires. We have an in-depth look at it in just a few minutes.
Plus, an interview with Congressman Dan Newhouse done by our Austin Reed. We hear more about him as well as his thoughts on this year's presidential election.
And I'll show you the wind gusts that we have in the forecast for today. Also a rundown of the one fire still burning in our region. That's going to be coming up at 6.